So I've been training for over 4 years now, and when I look at the way I trained for the first time compared to how I train now, there's a couple of habits or things I'd have done different that would have changed my physique. And the funny thing is, there's nothing like it's a secret exercise, supplement, or workout. These are five things that if I had probably made when I first started, and I was to start all over, these are habits I'd want to build earlier. For one, I started tracking my workouts. Like just go essentially like this doesn't even just have to be in the gym. This goes for anything in life. Like you want to have some type of plan. Like for first time, like I would just come in the gym and let's say for example I wanted to do dumbbell press. I do like 100 pounds. I get it for 8 reps. But I used to think that 8 reps was enough for the fact that like I'm trying to progress. But now like when I do something like a perfect example was my now that I'm cutting. Right now, I say like 130 is probably my peak when it comes to like incline, like dumbbell. Yesterday I did 120 and I was only able to do it for 6. So I know I'm getting weaker as I'm cutting. So now I have like a game plan of like how much strength I want to maintain, how much this I want to do that, how much I want to do that. Most people, when they go to the gym and they train hard, they have no actual evidence that they're improving. But like once you start tracking things, or you have like just a general idea of what you're doing, your training can become more intentional. That's partially one of the reasons why I started recording my workouts. So now I know like how I look doing this, doing that. So if there's one thing you take, track your workouts. Now I stopped trying to change everything. Like this is probably the biggest thing. Like I used to think variety was everything. New exercises, different workouts, different ways of training. But eventually I realized if an exercise feels good and I enjoy it and it targets what I'm trying to grow and I'm progressing in it, why change? That's why like when people be like, oh, bench pressing isn't a good way to build your chest. I don't necessarily like argue with them or disagree with them because like I'm not gonna say it's the best way, but if you enjoy doing the bench press, it doesn't matter what I think. Like I rather you do bench press than you do cable flies and you hate cable flies and you join the bench press. You're more likely to put more effort into the bench press than you are into the cable flies. So it doesn't matter what you do as long as you enjoy doing it and you're progressing. Like your muscles don't know that you figured out a new workout on YouTube or TikTok. Like some of the movements I do now, I've been doing them forever, and that's because like they work for me and I enjoy doing them. Like one thing when it comes to training, stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Like just start get really good and enjoy the things that you're currently already doing. Now, I started training for my physique, not just numbers. I enjoy pushing heavy weight. I enjoy being strong, and I'm probably always going to care about being strong. But one thing I had to learn about getting stronger and building the physique you want is that it's not always exactly the same thing. They correlate, but after a certain point, you're going to have to prioritize which one's more important to you. Like you could get ridiculously strong at certain movements and still not have the body part that you want it to be. Like a perfect example is my side delts. I feel like for me, my front's good, my rear is good, but my side, just because like that's more of like an aesthetic part of your body, isn't as strong as those two parts. Just because like I didn't really start prioritizing them till I want to say like last year to this year. Now when I actually look at my physique, I'd be like, what needs work? What needs work? And I could easily say that's my lats, that's my rear delts. That's like that's so when it comes to that, they're gonna get more effort out of me. Like my lats are gonna get more effort, my side delts are gonna get more effort. So let's say, for example, your chest or your arms need more work. That's why, for me, this is a side tangent, but that's why I had an arm day because I knew I wanted to grow my arms, and me doing arms at the end of like a pull day or a push day isn't necessarily going to grow my arms the way I want it to grow. So instead of giving every muscle equal attention, I started training around what my physique actually needs. So if you need bigger legs, maybe add an extra leg day. If you need a bigger chest, maybe do an extra chest day. Like figure out what you need, you're missing in your physique, and then that's how what would change your physique from there. Now, I started treating nutrition as something separate from training. Like the 80-20 rule is a real thing for a reason. Like you can have an amazing workout plan, but eventually you have to realize that like what you do outside of the gym is arguably more important than what you do inside of the gym. I'm not saying your diet has to be great, rice and broccoli and things of that nature. I'm not saying that. For mine isn't. Like I'm gonna have pizza tonight. And that's because I know for me, I'm gonna still like be locked in my diet regardless. Like you have to have some. You know how they say too much of anything isn't good for you. It especially applies for food. Like, do you think I wouldn't want like a bacon cheeseburger or like cheese fries or bacon fries every? Of course I would. But at the end of the day, like if this is something like you actually want to do, or I'm not even saying like my next point is about calories. I'm not even saying necessarily you have to track your calories, but you need to make sure you're getting enough protein. You got to think about whether you're trying to gain weight, maintain weight, lose weight, and things of that nature. Because you can't say you want to build muscle and then constantly give your body just carbs. carbs are important. I'm not. That's not the point of me saying that. But protein's just as important as carbs. So you can't say you want to do something and you're not doing anything to change that. Like that's like me saying, oh, I want to lose weight and I just keep eating the same way I was eating before. I'm not gonna get anywhere. You know, Albert Einstein said one thing: like doing the same thing over and over again is insanity. So if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and your results aren't changing, what does that mean? It's insanity essentially. So once you figure out your nutrition, everything becomes easier. Like I quite frankly can say, if I knew what I knew now 2 years ago, my physique would look a lot different. Because like I was always overcomplicating it, and I feel like this can be in its own video within itself. But like losing weight isn't easy, isn't hard. No, I'm trying to say it in a way that makes sense. Losing weight is hard. No, it's hard, but it's not complicated. Like there's just like I'm not gonna say calories in, calories out. I feel like that's an oversimplification. But it's hard. Geez, I'm getting a tongue twister. It's it's easy, but it's not hard at the same time. Like you just have to have a certain regimen. Like yes, your body's gonna fight back, but once you learn what works for you, like for example, I can eat a rice cake and have some honey and have a protein shake, and I can be good till nighttime. And that's because that works for me. You might not be able to do the same thing I can do, which is why it's important to experiment what your body likes and what your body doesn't. Because I can't just suggest to you, oh, just have a rice cake and eat that. Some people need more, some people need less, but eventually you're going to learn how to do certain things, you know? Now, probably the last thing I'd say is you need to learn how to think in years, not just weeks. Like that's probably the most important thing in this whole list. Like I started trying to do abs because I wanted abs immediately. But when you first start training, you think 3 months is a long time. Then you train for a couple of years and you realize 3 months is nothing. Like there are periods where I felt like I wasn't progressing. There are periods where I wasn't happy with how I looked. There was times where I wanted things to happen faster, but I kept training. When you compare yourself to 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, then you realize how much you've actually changed. The people who have great physiques necessarily don't have the perfect program. A lot of the time, they just showed up long enough to realize this is all adding up. Essentially, like I know this is a cliche, but consistency for most cases is like a good determining factor of how you're going to end up looking. So if I had to narrow everything down from what I talked about today, I'd probably say track your training, stop constantly changing what works, train for your physique, make sure your nutrition lasts, make sure your nutrition matches your goal, and give yourself enough time for all of this work. None of this is sexy, but that's kind of the point. Like the biggest changes from my physique didn't come from me doing some secret technique or something. It just came from me getting better at boring things to make me more consistent. Now, I'm not anywhere finished to where I want to look, but I'm a lot closer than where I was like let's say a month ago or 2 years ago, you know? So hope this helps.